everyone, welcome to Nicole's Needlework. Today is February 8th, it's Saturday, and it's right around 10:30 a.m. So in my last video I had someone comment and ask if I would share what is in my tub of whips and kitted items. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today. So if you have a coffee, a tea, any other beverage, just you might want to get it now, and it's going to be a little bit longer than normal. And I've got Ginger here. She's so funny. I posted a picture of her on Instagram, and she is really my constant companion. She, if I'm stitching, she tries to get right on my lap in between me and my light, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, she's always right there with me. So she's just hanging out here on my lap. I don't know how much longer. And Oreo is over here. You can't see her, but she's in her bed. Okay, so I do actually have one finish to share, and that is Jane Stanwyck's by Samplers Revisited. And I used the Country Samplers conversion. The only change I made was instead of the light pink, I used white. I used Classic Colorworks eggshell there. And I borrowed that idea from Susan_414 on Instagram. And I switched out the linen. The linen that came in the kit was 36 count cocoa. And it's Weeks Dye Works. I'm not a huge fan of the old Weeks, so I switched it out for 40 count vintage Meadow Rue by Lakeside Linens. I had this in my stash for a while. So that's the pattern there. And you can call or email Country Sampler if you don't need fabric or pattern, and just ask for the threads and they'll send you the threads. So that is my finish. So I've been writing down what I've been working on, and my last video was on the 26th, which was almost 2 weeks. So I worked on this mainly to get that finished, and then I worked on my rose wreath sampler and Uffendell, and I had a new start, which I will share. Okay, so here is my bin of whips and kitted things. Oh, I can't get it over there. So I do have a little bit of a life update. So my husband and I have been talking about his job. He works for the government. Probably figured that out with him going to DC. But he's decided that he would like to be promoted. He's held off being promoted mainly for the boys, because if he does get promoted, it means a move. So he's really held off for a while on this. And since he has decided and he's taken the test for promotion, did really well, it means a move in the future. I won't move until Jake graduates high school, and he's a junior now. So in about 16 months, that means we'll be moving, and we don't know where yet. So it's at a little bit of stress, which is probably why I have been starting so many things. When I am stressed, that's what I do. So that's probably why I have so many things started, and I'm like all over the place lately. So I will just go through these in random order. So like I said, grab your coffee. I've got mine. And I'll just start. Okay, so this is Ann Uffendell, and I get asked often where I get these bags. These are from the Container Store, and they're about $2.99 each. And I just really like these. They're durable, except when the cat likes to chew on them. And there's other brands you can get at cross-stitch stores, Amazon, wherever. And I like that you can see through them. So this is Anne, which was a gift from Carol. Thank you again, Carol. And she gave me the booklet with both. And Ginger's right in front of the, come on. Okay, get in your bed. There you go. So I'm working on Anne Uffendale, 1835. And I'm using 40 count creme brulee by R&R. It's beautiful neutral cream linen. And I got all the flowers down on the bottom. And I've just been working on filling that row in by the basket. And I'm using all the called for Alversois Soie d'Alger silks. Whip number 1, if you're counting. I think there's about 16 whips in here, and I did unkit quite a few because I really, like I said before, I really just want to work on my reproduction samplers. I do have a couple non-repos. Okay, next, this is Blackbird Designs, Birds of a Feather, and I believe this is out of print now. I got this a long time ago and never started it. So this isn't really an adaptation of that sampler. They added the alphabet in here and some other things, I think. Yeah. But I love it. I love those birds. And this I'm stitching on 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I'm using all the called for MPI silks. You can see this linen is darker on this side, and I chose to do kind of the more subtle modeling. Oh no, cats are fighting. Yeah, they'll lay by each other, and Oreo will groom Ginger, and then finally Oreo gets fed up with her and will like bite her or, you know, swat her, get her away from her, and then anyway, you don't really care, right? Okay, so here's the silks. So that's number 2. All right, so this one has been like, I don't know, this has been my insane project. His Eyes on a Sparrow. And this is the one I've started 5 times on 5 different linens. First one, 40 count doubloon, 2 orange. Second one was, I believe, the 36 count Wren, maybe? And then I did 40 count Vintage Country Mocha, and then I did 36 count doubloon. Why I went back to doubloon when it's too orange for me. And then 40 count Legacy. I saw someone stitching it on the Legacy and thought that was perfect. And then I kept looking at my 36 count Wren, and I'm like, why did I get rid of that? That's really pretty. I should have stuck with that one. Hold on, I will get it. So the girl I sold it to, I asked if I could buy it back from her. And she said, sure, she hadn't worked on it yet. So I bought it back. This is where I am on it. It's darker in real life. I don't know if I can show the true colors of it. And then here it is on the Legacy. And I keep going back and forth. Do I want to go with Ren or Legacy? Ren or Legacy? It's driving me crazy. So it's just sitting and it's not being worked on. Here's my little start on Legacy. Part of me is leaning towards the Legacy. I know, it's crazy, it's insane, and a part of me wants to just forget this project altogether, but I do love it. And I would like to work on it and finish it. So it's in timeout right now. Maybe you could write in the comments below which one you prefer. I have a feeling, well, I'm not going to say what my feeling is. So help me. Okay, whip number 3. All right, number 4. This is kind of, not really a whip, kind of a whip. And this is Ragamuffin Quaker Sampler. Ragamuffin number 2, Quaker Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. I've loved this for so long. And seeing Faye, Carolina Stitcher finish it really made me want to work on it. So I just have a tiny start, which is why it's not really a whip, because I mainly did a teeny tiny start and then didn't work on it anymore. That's it. That's all I did. And this is 40 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linens. And I'm using all the called for silk threads. They're so pretty. So I have Gloriana Floral, regular Gloriana MPI, and Avera Soie Delge. These threads are so pretty. So I really love this. It's number 4. Right. Okay. Number 5. And this is Little Red Work Pinky. And I actually started this when I was in New York City and haven't really worked on it. And I'm using, this is by Stacy Nash, by the way. And I just decided to do the front because there is a back. So I'm using a 36 count R&R. I can't remember what linen this is. It might, I don't know. It could be Ligonier Latte, but it could be something else. I can't remember. And that's all I've done. So I need to just get that finished. It won't take long. And this is in my Mama Joan bag that I won from her. It's so cute. Number 5. Oh, this isn't a whip. Put that over there. Oh, this one I got to finish because I promised my friend. And this is Tired Trio. And I really need her granddaughter was born 2 months ago. And this is for her granddaughter. Her daughter loves sloths. And that's all I have. This is a 36 count Pearl Barley by Lakeside Linens. And I'm using all the called for threads. So, gotta get back to that. So Plantation Sampler, I showed that in my last video. I haven't worked on it since. This is unfortunately out of print, and I have promised the pattern to someone when I'm done with it. But again, this is on fog. Goes this way. If I picture this plus, beautiful neutral. And I'm using Tanya Brockmeyer, Scarlet House, her conversion, which I have posted on my blog. And if you want to see her picture of it, just Google Plantation House, Scarlet House, and it should show up. Or Plantation Sampler, Scarlet House. So that's number 6. That's a kit. Okay. I showed this last time also. This is Harriet Elizabeth Co. by Brenda Gervais. You can find this on her website. It's open now, so you can order it from her. And this is the one I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the colors Brenda suggests or make it look more like the front. And I found my threads. I had taken a picture of them, so I think I kind of remember what I had picked out. So I might pull those and then decide finally. And all I have is just the border and a couple flowers. But this is 40 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linens also. Number 7. Okay. This one is also out of print, unfortunately, and it is Frances Eden by Handwork Samplers. Cute Adam and Eve with all those cherubs, the houses. I love it. And I am using the Vicki Clayton hand-dyed fibers, and these are silk threads. It's a little hard to see them because of the glare, but really pretty colors. And this also, I believe, 40 count vintage light exemplar. Can you tell I love this linen? I've got some. And that's all I have. But I love this, and I really need to get back to it. I'm probably going to be saying that a lot. And if you can see a beautiful finish of this on Lori ARP, her old blog, Corgi Cottage. She finished this and framed it, and it's beautiful. And I think Paulette, Plum Street Samplers, also has it on her blog that she finished it. And she did hers in DMC, and it's beautiful. So that's number 8. Okay, number 9. Mary Betchel by the Scarlet House. This is the one I got in Chicago, or outside of Chicago. Beautiful, beautiful sampler. Love it. And this is on, so this is the vintage exemplar that I think looks more like sand dune, because it's much more yellow, but it's so pretty. Love this sampler. And I'm using all the called for silk threads. They're so pretty. that was number 9. Okay, here's one. It's kind of a whip. Kind of really haven't worked on it. And that is Mary Gale by the Scarlet Letter. I love these people. They're so funky. I love the flowers. I just love it. In this one I'm using DMC. They're a little squished. And I really don't have a lot on here. This is 46 or 45 count vintage autumn gold, I think. I got this linen at In Stitches a while ago. And that's all I have. But it's really pretty. So, and on this one it was all tent stitch and the background is all filled in. I'm not doing that. So that's why I picked this linen color, because it kind of looks like the background a little bit. That's number 10. Okay, number 11. Mary Good by Sassafras Samplers. This is done by Sassy Jacks. And I am using 40 count vintage lentil, I believe. It really kind of reminds me of the vintage light exemplar a little bit, but a little more yellow tone. So, and I'm using the Called For Vera Soie d'Alger. Pretty colors. I love these reds, pinks, golds, got some blues. Very pretty. Is that 12? I think that's 12. Okay, so this I showed last time also. Sarah Stewart Hardman, age 7, 1824. So this is the one after seeing Brenda and Reese work on it. I'm like, I must start it. And I'm using 40 count vintage buttercream. And this has a little more yellow. Can't really tell, but. And that's all I've done. I started on the grass down here. That's what I'm working on. And this I got at In Stitches last time I was up there. I'm going to DC next weekend, and I'm driving, and I'm taking a long weekend, a 4-day weekend. And I think I may do a little side trip to Dying to Stitch. I still haven't 100% decided. I'll probably decide definitely the day of what, you know, how the drive's going, what's going on, everything. But I've always wanted to see that shop, so that might be what I'm doing. Don't know for sure yet. I think that's 12 now. Okay, this is a new start. I've always wanted to start Maria Selby Humphrey. So I just decided to go for it. And I am stitching it on 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And I changed some of the threads. I pulled the DMC and changed some of them. And these are really, this is really kind of out of my comfort zone because I love red. I love color. So I'm gonna stick with it because I think it's a beautiful sampler. But, so we'll see. And unfortunately, I think this is also out of print. Is that 13? $13. $14. Rose Wreath Sampler. Oh shoot, I forgot I clipped it. By GGR, and this is another one after seeing Reese's video. It was I had to get it, and I couldn't resist starting it. So beautiful. And this I'm stitching on 46 count Vintage Light Exemplar. And that's what I have done so far. This linen is teeny tiny. And some nights it's really hard for me to see. And so I do have a pair of 5.0 magnifiers, and that does help. And I said sometimes I have to wear the magnifiers with my prescription glasses in order to see it clearly. So, yep. In fact, I got new glasses at Walmart. These are from the Ellen DeGeneres line. My kids said I look like SpongeBob wearing them. Let's see. I think I have a picture here. Hold on. Don't ever ask your kids your opinion. What do you think? Anyway, I love these glasses because I hadn't gotten new glasses in about 3 years, and I was like, wow, I can see like the leaves on the trees again. And anyway, so love this. And actually, because of the difficulty seeing it sometimes, I contemplated stitching it on 40 count parchment, which is what it's called for. But I really don't like this week's linen. It's just so loose. I pull the stitches and I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty. I just, like, you can see through it. I wouldn't be happy with that. So I'm going to keep going on the 46 a little longer, and we'll see. Okay, getting towards the end. I think that, oh, I have one more whip. And this is Dorothy Walpole. And I keep saying I really need to get this finished. I really need to get it finished this year. I'm not going to unscroll it. These are roller frames. And I usually use a scroll frame when it's a longer band sampler. But I haven't really worked on one of those in a while. This is on Vintage Pecan Butter. And I'm using all the called for Avera Soie. There's the picture. And I've seen a couple people finish this recently on Facebook. So. I have this old bag. I got this at the craft store. It might have been Michael's or Joann's. It was a long time ago, but it fits the scroll frame perfectly. Okay, so now I have things I've been kitting. I've kind of, since Christmas, kitted quite a few things since before Christmas. I don't know. I've been in a kitting mood. Maybe that has to do with the stress also. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I better like get things kitted up now because I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy what stress does to people. So first thing I kitted up is this cute little la-di-da. And this one I got it in stitches in the sale basket. And it's just a sweet little sampler. Not a reproduction, but just a sweet, sweet little sampler. It's Me and You by la-di-da. And I just pulled some unknown linen from my stash. It looks like it's a lakeside, maybe like a vintage pecan butter. And the DMC, called for DMC. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. So I need a few more small projects to fit in between these giant samplers I have going. So I have two in here. This is Jane Tyndall, and I have it kitted with the Gloriana floor melt, and which floor melt is hand dyed Avera Soie d'Alger, and the solid Soie d'Alger, and this is 40 count Confederate Gray by Weeks Dye Works on the Zweigart. So, love this sampler. Another one in here is Ann Thomas, 1854. So another reason, so moving, the craft room is stopped because there's no point if we're moving, which is a little sad, but you know, I can do it wherever we move. I'll be able to do it then if we get a 3-bedroom, because Jake will be in college and I'll just need the extra bedroom for basically a guest room, and I guess I can share my craft room, you know, with the guests. So this is kitted again, vintage exemplar and the Soie d'Alger. This is a Scarlet Letter, Elizabeth Sheffield. Love this. And it is kitted with 35 count straw, Weeks Dye Works. And the 35 count Weeks, I don't mind as much. It's not as loose. Something about that linen. And this is just the DMC. Called for DMC. This one is Mary Clayton. And I have the 40 count creme brulee in here with the Soie d'Alger. Oh, I have another whip. This one's snuck in here. Okay. So this is the Mary Bar Sampler by Stacy Nash. This is the one I restarted on the 40 count creme brulee because I love that linen. And I haven't worked on it. And I'm using, so I actually found another whip. I don't know how I missed these. So another one is Elizabeth Furnace, 1836 by Hands Across the Sea. I'm using the DMC and 40 count vintage country mocha that I tea and coffee dyed and baked in the oven, basically using Chelsea and Priscilla's method. And I just have a little bit going down there on the bottom. So cute. I love this patchwork grass area with the animals. I love the red house. I love everything about this sampler. It's so pretty. So these threads are so pretty too. And I get asked often, what makes me choose DMC or silks? Sometimes cost is a factor. A lot of times it is seeing pictures on Instagram or Facebook. If I see how it looks in DMC or if I see how it looks in silks, or both, then I can kind of get an idea of the look I'm going for. I think these threads are so pretty. The conversion is really well done. Sometimes just the look of the silks, the sheen is what draws me to it. I don't know, I can't really say what makes me choose, but it's kind of, I guess it's the look I'm going for. And sometimes it is cost if I don't want to spend, you know, over $100 on one project. So there's that. This was definitely a more inexpensive way to hand dye this linen and use the DMC, but you know, sometimes it's in my budget to get the silks. So, all right, so those are two more whips that I forgot about. Two more kits. So this is one I splurged on and got the silks. And this is Elizabeth Weston. I was going to do this in DMC, and I saw it finished with the silks, and that kind of made me decide to get the silks. So this is Elizabeth Weston circa 1830, and I have it kitted with the vintage exemplar and the soie belge. There's another Marianne Farmer 1834. And I've got it kitted with the MPI silks and sand Picture This Plus. It calls for doubloon. Not going with doubloon. I should take those silks out because there are some really pretty pinks and reds. Can't really tell in these baggies. Trying to get the glare off of them. Anyway. Really pretty. This is really at the top of my list to start next. I do have a box with some other things, and then we're almost done. Oh, and I do want to do the giveaway, so I will do that at the end. So here's Anne Wright, 1726, and I got the Country Sampler conversion, and this is, my mind just left, Fawn by Lakeside Linens. It's not vintage, it's just regular fawn. And then I have Mary Cook, $17.95 by the Scarlet House. This is 40 count R&R. I think it's Stars Hollow Blend. And this is Lucy's Snushel or Snushel, 1847 by Samplers Remembered. I think this is 40 count Meadow Root. I'm pretty sure it is. And these are the called for cotton threads. And then I have Anne Grimshaw, 1818. And this is a tea and coffee dyed Zweigart linen. And I have Blackboard. Which is a blue-black cotton thread. Now, seeing, was it Carol's? She had the Antique Black by Floriana, and that is gorgeous too. But since I already have all these, I think I'm going to stick with this Blackboard. I think it's going to be really pretty. I have Elizabeth Walsh's work. This is so cute. And I had gotten a wood tray to put it in. So we'll see how that works out. 36 count sand. If I picture this plus. And the called for threads. And then this one I showed before, Mary Hawley, 1808. And I've got it kitted up with the called for threads and linen, 36 count ale. And then I showed this last time also, Shakespeare's Peddler, Spanish Mystery Sampler. I just have the threads, I don't have the linen in here, but I think I'm leaning towards the 40 count Light Mocha by Zweigart. And I mentioned that I had actually started this at one time, and I ended up cutting the linen and using it for something else. Here's my little start. This was on 40 count vintage light exemplar. This is what I do. If I'm not working on it for a while, I want the linen for something else. I think that is it. Of course I have more back here kitted, and I don't need to show everything, but these are my main like reproduction samplers that I want to do in the future and that I'm working on now. Another thing I've thought about getting back to, I was looking at it the other day, and it really is so pretty, is this Anniversaries of the Heart. And I started this quite a while ago when it first came out. And I really would like to finish it because it does have a lot of meaning. So this block is for my husband. And then I have my mom's grandmother, Olive Emma, here. And this was the bonus block. My son Bradley, there's his block. April, I'm gonna put my mother-in-law's name in here. And And then here's my dad's block. And then I have my anniversary. And then my mom's block here. It's so fitting for her because she loves these colors too. And then I was going to put, so I had a sister that passed away when she was a baby. She didn't live very long. And this was going to be her block for August. She was born in August. So I kind of fit the, like my son Bradley was not born in March, so, but I tried to fit the blocks. My husband was born in January. My mom's grandmother was born in February. My mother-in-law's birthday's in April. My dad's birthday's also in April, but he got the May block. My anniversary is in June, and my mom's birthday's in July. So I did kind of try to fit the birthdays, but not all of them. So I actually sold my charts, but since they have been reprinted, I think I will get them again and try and get this finished up, because it really is really neat. So that's it. I think that's it. I'm gonna do the giveaway for the patterns. Hold on. So these charts were given to me by Gervais. Here's their information. So I'm doing the YouTube random comment picker. The first one is directions. So some of you were very clever in how you worded the giveaway, which I thought was really cute. So I'm going to type in here directions. I already put the URL in there. Okay, so there was 48 people entered for directions. And the winner is Stitching Between the Lines. And someone said, and she said, directions. I haven't seen that one yet. Your samplers are lovely as always, Pam. So, Pam, you won. I will put my email below and send me an email. Let me know what you want, okay? Okay. Next one is Farm. And that's this cute one. I have a little piece of lace in there. So I'm going to type in Farm. And there was 67 people entered for that. And the winner is Laura Alice. She said I enable her to start all the samplers. So Laura, you won Farm. Email me. Let me know what your address is and I will get this out to you. Next one is Daisy. That one. This one had some cute little charms in it. Since some of you put daisies and Daisy, I'm just going to do D-A-I-S. There was 110 people put in for Daisy. The winner for that one is Tracy Malone. And she just said, love the Daisy chart. Tracy, email me with your address. Last one is Freedom. And this also came with a couple cute little charms. $114 people entered for that. And Sue Weingart is the winner. And she said, everything you are stitching is absolutely beautiful. And she said, the thought of 46 count gives me a headache. It gives me a headache sometimes too. Okay, so those are the winners. Please get in touch with me. I'll put my email below. Let me know what you want and your address, and I'll get those out to you next week. All right, well, I guess that's it. This was definitely longer than usual. Hope you enjoyed seeing all my crazy whips and kits. And I am, like I said, I'm going to DC next weekend. So maybe in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I will do another video. My husband's coming home at the end of February, so he'll finally be back. And then we got to start getting this house ready, because I don't know when we're going to actually put it on the market, but we need to get it ready for that. So it's going to be busy once he gets home. There's going to be a lot of changes. So anyway, I'm just trying to take it a day at a time. I have my stitching to try and help me keep me sane. Gosh, thank goodness for stitching. I don't know what I'd do. So anyway, I will talk to you guys in a few weeks. Bye.